Hey everyone, I'm going to show you how to install the Digimon Link mod for the Vital Hero. Now, this only supports the Vital Hero, the original 3, not the Batman version of the Vital Hero. So, this is by Comic Munch and Cyanic. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on my Versus memory that came with the Vital Hero. And then I'm going to take the Dinosaur Roar Dim that came with it. I'm going to pop that out. I'm going to write what this belongs to. I'm going to put it back in this cover, back in the dim protector there. And then these all go in shell mods for me, so I can easily write blue, black, D2 and save it. So now that you actually have the .bin file, you're going to go ahead and get everything ready. You're going to want to check the Versus dim. It shouldn't be linked to anything. And then you're going to want to go to Restore. Now, once you select Restore, you're going to go to the 2 bin files that come with it. I'm going to pick the Digital Monster because the Vice one resets every, I think it's 24 or 12 hours, and you can do evos whenever you want. I'm going to personally pick the Digital Monster version because that's just kind of how I like my experience that I like. So now this process is going to take a few minutes to put the bin file on the Versus memory, and this is one of those things that if you've written any dim backup before, if you've done this before, you know how long this takes. And again, you're going to want to make sure to save this Versus memory because it's going to put a backup of the original firmware, and you cannot restore your Vital Hero if you don't have that firmware. So if you wipe this and say you delete the bin file off of this or try to use it on another Vital Hero, it's going to remove that firmware and you've lost the ability to restore your Vital Hero. So it's one of those things, if you ever want to go install, say there's an update, you have to go back to the original firmware to install the update. So now this is done. After this, I will go and I will show you how to install it on the actual Vital Hero, and I will go ahead and show you that now. Alright everybody, we got one shot at this because I don't want to have to restore the backup. Now, I have the Versus dim that I've made with the modification for the Vital Hero on it. I have this Vital Hero plugged into a battery backup just to keep power going to it and make sure we don't lose any power. So we're turning it on, it's asking for the dim. So go ahead and put that in. We will wait. Now this whole process takes about 10 minutes. I'm going to try to cover just a few things. I'm not going to cover any spoilers on the firmware, just because this is not about that. This is about installing and preserving your Vital Hero. So, when this is done, like I said earlier, it's going to put a backup on this Versus memory of the original firmware. You're going to want to label that somehow so you keep this Versus dim away from anything else. So you don't wipe it and restore it. You can also use Mr. Blinky's tool to back up that firmware. Now the firmware is linked to this Vital Hero. So you can't take two exact Vital Heroes and take this one and that's not modded and this one that is modded and use it. This one's backup for this one to restore it. It doesn't work that way. They're linked to the actual Vital Hero. So there we go. We got the screen. Now, confirm. It's going to back up. There we go. It says do not unplug the UM. Now this process here is the backup process where it's backing up that original firmware and it's pulling it off of here and it's getting the serial numbers and all the information it needs to do the modification. Okay, so I was watching this and this process took just a little too long for me, so I kind of sped it up, and I'm just going to try to put some music here with this because it takes a little while. It takes about 10 minutes to install, but I just kind of wanted to speed it up and not talk over it the whole time. Alright, so this is just me explaining what I'm going to do with writing the name of the device that I'm going to use this on the card, and put the versus memory there in the DIMM holder, and then just put it in a box and save it for later. So it's one of those things that you don't have to, just label the versus memories. That's kind of my own idea, to keep track of this. Alright, so here we go. So the backup's complete. So we're just going to go into the patching of the firmware. Now this process takes a little while, not as long as the first process, but definitely, it takes a little bit of time. The first 50% jumps really quick, and then after that it kind of slows down and drags down. So I'm going to keep the video kind of sped up and just kind of let you hear the music, so you don't have to hear me talking. Alright, now that we're done here, we're going to go ahead and click the OK button, and we can go ahead and remove the DIMM. Now it's going to ask us to put in a DIMM, so I'm going to use the Dino Roar that actually came with this brand new vital bracelet, and it's going to load up that Dino Roar DIMM. Now personally, like I said, this is one of those things, I try not to do too many spoilers on this. I'm going to do a video kind of on like an overall breakdown on the firmware, but this is a massive thing for the Battle Hero. The Battle Hero is a cheap, readily available device in America, and this is one of those things. Make sure to show Comic Munch and Cyanic some love on this, so hopefully we can see more from them in the future. This is one of those things that it's an amazing change on the gameplay for the Battle Hero itself. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of wrap this video up, and I hope you all enjoyed this. I'll see you in the next one.